Hello and welcome to Call of Chemistry. In this video, we will discuss about electrochemical cell, and you will also learn how to devise a cell from a given cell reaction and how to write the cell reaction from a given cell. Before we start electrochemical cell, we all know that all electrochemical cell consists of two electrodes, that is anode and cathode. Now, which reaction takes place in anode and which reaction takes place in cathode? We have a fantastic trick by which you can easily remember which reaction takes place in anode and which reaction takes place in cathode. So the trick is anode, anion, oxidation, and cathode, cation, reduction. Now notice that these are all vowels and these are all consonants. So anion goes to anode and in anode oxidation takes place, and cation goes to cathode and in cathode reduction takes place. So it is a easy trick by which you can easily remember that anion goes to anode and in anode oxidation takes place and in cathode reduction takes place. Now we will discuss about different kinds of electrodes. So there are three kinds of electrodes, that are first kind electrode, next second kind electrode, and third kind electrode. Now we will discuss about the first kind electrode. So first kind electrodes are of two types, that is metal ion electrode and gas electrode. What are metal ion electrodes? Examples of metal ion electrodes are Ag plus, or copper 2 plus, or zinc 2 plus. So these are all examples of metal ion electrodes. Now what does this vertical line stands for? These actually differentiate the two separate phases, that is Ag in solid phase and Ag plus in solution phase, and this vertical line actually differentiate these two phases. Now what is the difference between these two representations? And so actually this represents oxidation takes place and this represents reduction takes place, because this is the oxygen state 0 and this is also oxygen state 0. So here you can see that here Ag is in 0 oxygen state and the oxygen state increases to +1, so oxidation takes place. But here it is on +1 oxygen state and it turns to 0 oxygen state, that is the oxygen state decreases. That's why reduction takes place here. And if we write the half cell reactions, corresponding these three half cells, that are Ag minus electron, Ag plus, copper minus 2 electron, copper 2 plus, and zinc minus 2 electron, zinc 2 plus. So here you can see that all these three half cell reaction corresponds oxidation. So these are the examples of metal ion electrodes, which is a first kind electrode. Now we will discuss gas electrode. So examples of gas electrodes are platinum hydrogen 1 atmospheric pressure and H plus, which is solution. Second, platinum chlorine and chlorine minus. Then platinum oxygen OH minus. Now we will write the half cell reactions. Here oxidation takes place because this is hydrogen and this hydrogen loses 2 electrons to form 2 proton. So this is the half shell reaction. It is in gas phase and it is in solution phase. Now we write the half cell reaction of the next electrode. From this half cell we can see that this chlorine has oxygen state 0, but here -1. So from this we can know that this is an half cell which indicates reduction. And if we write the half cell reaction Cl2 plus 2 electron, from this we get 2Cl minus, and this is the example of reduction, and this is the now we write the half cell reaction of next electrode. The next electrode is, so here reduction takes place. Now look very carefully while I write the half cell reaction of this electrode. Firstly we write O2 here and we keep a arrow and we write here OH minus. And as 2 oxygens are there, so we write here 2. When we write 2, that means 2 hydrogens are there, then we add H2O molecule. We can see that here 2 OH minus is there, so the overall charge, that is -2. So in order to balance the reaction we have to put 2 electrons here, so that this -2 charge is balanced by these 2 electrons. Now look here, total 2 plus 1, 3 equivalent of oxygens are there in left hand side of the reaction, but here 2 equivalent of oxygens are there. So in order to balance the reaction we put half here. Now there is 1 equivalent oxygen and 1, so overall 2, here also 2. So this is the half cell reaction. So again I repeat how this occurs. Firstly you write O2 here, then keep a arrow, then write OH minus here. As 2 equivalent of oxygens are there, you add 2 OH minus. As you write 2 equivalent of OH minus, then 2 hydrogens are there. In order to balance, you write H2O here. Then as 2 equivalent of OH minus there, then negative charge, total amount of negative charge is -2. In order to balance this, we have to add 2 electron here, and here is 3 equivalent of oxygen, here is 2 equivalent of oxygen. In order to balance this, we have to add half. In such way we can balance this reaction. So this is an example of reduction, as 2 electrons are added here. Now we will discuss about second kind of electrode. The formula of second kind of electrode is metal insoluble salt of metal and anion corresponding to the salt. We'll understand by some examples. Suppose AgCl, Cl minus. So we take Ag as a metal and we take insoluble salt, that is AgCl, and anion corresponding to the salt is Cl minus, that is here is Cl, so it is Cl minus. So this is an example of second kind electrode. Now how we write the half cell reaction of this electrode? Firstly, start with the salt. This AgCl dissociates as follows: Ag plus plus Cl minus. Now look, in this representation of electrode, there is no Ag plus. Here is Ag, here is AgCl, here is Cl minus. So there is no Ag plus. So you have to write Ag plus in terms of Ag. So Ag plus takes one electron and convert to Ag. Now we write the overall half cell reaction, that is AgCl, and this Ag plus cancels out, AgCl plus electron, and we get Ag plus Cl minus. So we write the half cell reaction over here: AgCl plus electron, Ag plus Cl minus. Half cell reaction. Now look, this half cell reaction corresponds reduction because it takes one electron, but this representation does not correspond reduction because here the oxygen state of Ag is 0 and here the oxygen state of Ag is +1. So Ag 0 to +1, that means oxygen state increases, and here oxidation takes place. So as oxidation takes place, so we have to write this reaction in such a way that it represents the oxidation. How we can write that? We write the reaction over here. This is reduction. Simply reverse the whole reaction, that is Ag plus Cl minus minus electron, that is AgCl, that is oxidation. This half cell represents that oxidation takes place, and this half cell represents reduction takes place, because we can see here Ag in +1 oxygen state and here Ag in 0 oxygen state. So the oxygen state decreases, that's why this represents reduction. So here we write anode and here we write cathode. So here oxidation takes place and here reduction takes place. So here if we write the silver electrode, oxidation takes place, so Ag, AgCl, Cl minus, here Cl minus, AgCl, Ag. So if we write in such a way Ag, AgCl, Cl minus, that means oxidation takes place here, so it will act as anode. And if we write in such a way that Cl minus, AgCl, Ag, that means reduction takes place here, so it will act as a cathode. Now we will write the next electrode, the next second kind electrode. The next electrode is known as calomel electrode, that is Ag to Cl2, Cl minus. Here we see that oxidation state of Ag is 0 and here oxidation state of Ag is +2. So here oxidation takes place. Now how we write the half cell reaction? Start with this insoluble salt. Ag to Cl2 dissociates as Ag22 plus 2Cl minus. Now notice that in this representation there is no Ag22 plus, there is Ag2Cl2 Cl minus, but there is no Ag22 plus. So we have to write this Ag22 plus in terms of Ag. So Ag22 plus takes 2 electrons and converts to Ag, and we get the overall half cell reaction, such as this Ag22 plus cancels out and Ag2Cl2 plus 2 electron, and we get Ag plus 2Cl minus. This is the overall half shell reaction, and it corresponds reduction, as it takes 2 electrons. But here we represents as oxidation, so we have to reverse this whole reaction. So if we reverse the whole reaction and we write the half cell reaction corresponds to this cell, Ag plus 2Cl minus 2 electron, and we get Ag2Cl2. So this is the half cell reaction of this second kind electrode. And if we write the half cell reaction corresponding to this reduction reaction, that will be Cl minus Ag2Cl2 Ag. Here you can see that here Ag is in +2 oxidation state and here Ag in 0 oxidation state. So here that is reduction takes place. So if we write over here, that is anode and that is cathode. So here oxidation takes place and here reduction takes place. So you write Ag to Cl2 Cl minus, then it will correspond oxidation reaction and it will act as anode. And if we write Cl minus Ag to Cl2 Ag, then it will correspond the reduction reaction and it will act as cathode. Now we will discuss the third kind electrode. How third kind electrode forms we will show over here. That is, suppose PbSO4 BaSO4 Ba2 plus. So when we write any third kind electrode, we will take an alkali or alkaline earth metal and we take the insoluble salt of this metal and we take another insoluble salt which contains the same anion, that is sulfate. Sulfate over here, sulfate over here, and we take the metal of this salt. Similarly, we can write Pb, PbSO4, SrSO4 and Sr2 plus. Now we are trying to write the half cell reaction of this third kind electrode. Firstly, start with this salt. PbSO4 dissociates as Pb2 plus sulfate. Now look, there is no Pb2 plus in this representation, so we have to write Pb2 plus in terms of Pb. So Pb2 plus 2 electron and we get Pb. Now Ba2 plus sulfate and we get BaSO4, because we have no sulfate, SO4 2 minus separately in this representation, so we have to cancel out this two sulfate, that cancels out, and this Pb2 plus cancels out, and we get PbSO4 plus Ba2 plus 2 electron and we get Pb plus BaSO4. Look, all these terms are in this representation, that is PbSO4, Ba2 plus, Pb and BaSO4. We have to write in such a way that all these terms are in the half cell reaction. There is no Pb2 plus, that's why we write Pb2 plus in terms of Pb and we cancel these two sulfate and we write, that is the half cell reaction. But this represents reduction, but we see that here Pb in 0 oxygen state and Pb in plus 2 oxygen state, so here oxidation takes place. So we have to reverse this whole reaction in order to get this half cell. Reverse the reaction and we can get Pb plus BaSO4 minus 2 electron and we get PbSO4 plus Ba2 plus. So this corresponds actually this equation, and this corresponds Ba2 plus BaSO4 PbSO4 Pb. So we have to devise a cell from the given cell reaction. So firstly, now we have discussed earlier in the second kind electrode that in case of silver electrode the half cell reaction is AgCl plus electron Ag plus Cl minus. Then it will act as cathode because here reduction takes place, and as reduction takes place then it will act as cathode. So this is cathode, and if we take this reaction as in anode, Ag, that is anode, because here oxidation takes place, that's why this acts as anode. Now if we write the both equation, Ag minus electron Ag plus and AgCl plus electron Ag plus Cl minus. Now if we get the overall reaction from this, then our assumption is right. So this Ag and this Ag cancels out, and AgCl and this electron cancels out. AgCl we get Ag plus Cl minus. So we get the same reaction, AgCl, Ag plus Cl minus, AgCl to Ag plus Cl minus. So if we write the full cell reaction, it will be Ag plus, and as reaction takes place, we have to write in such a way. So this is the full cell reaction, where this acts as anode and here oxidation takes place, and this acts as cathode, here reduction takes place. Now we devise the full shell for this reaction. We discussed earlier in the second kind electrode that in case of calomel electrode, the half cell reaction is Ag2Cl2 plus 2 electron. From that we get 2Ag plus 2Cl minus, and that acts as cathode, as here reduction takes place. And if we take this reaction, 2Cl minus minus 2 electron, we get Cl2, that is acts as anode because oxidation takes place here. And if we get the overall reaction this, then our assumption is right. So if we write anode reaction first, 2Cl minus minus 2 electron, we get Cl2, that is anode, and Ag2Cl2 plus 2 electron, we get 2Ag plus 2Cl minus, that is cathode. Now we can see that this 2Cl minus 2Cl minus cancels out, and this 2 electron cancels out, and we get Ag2Cl2. From that we get 2Ag plus Cl2. So that we can see that we get the similar type of reaction. So our assumption is right. So we can write the full cell such that Cl minus Cl2 Pt and Cl minus Ag2Cl2 Ag. So this acts as anode and this acts as cathode because here oxidation takes place and here reduction takes place. Now we try to write the full cell of this reaction. So if we consider this half cell, that is I minus AgI Ag, it is similar to the silver chloride electrode that we discussed earlier in the second kind electrode. So the half cell reaction of this electrode will be similar to that silver chloride electrode, that is AgI plus electron, and we get Ag plus I minus. So we can see that from this given reaction, in the right hand side of the reaction is AgI. So this AgI in the left hand side reaction, so we have to keep in right hand side. So we reverse this reaction, that is Ag plus I minus minus electron, and we get AgI, and this is the oxidation and acts as anode. Now look at the left hand side of this reaction is Ag plus, so we write Ag plus here, and this takes one electron and we get Ag, and that is reduction, and that is acts as cathode. If the overall cell reaction matches with this, then our assumption is correct, and we get that this Ag and this Ag cancels out, and this electron cancels out, and we get Ag plus I minus. From that we get AgI, and this matches with this reaction. So our assumption is correct. So if we try to write the full cell, so our anode is this, actually this represents cathode. So in order to write the anode, this is Ag, Agi, I minus, this is anode, and here oxidation takes place, but here reduction takes place. So we get that Ag, Agi, I minus, and in cathode we write here like that Ag plus Ag. So this is the full cell of that given cell reaction. Now we will try to solve such problems where cells are given, from that we deduce the cell reactions. So here the full cell are given, so from that we have to deduce the cell reactions. So this is anode, and here oxidation takes place. So here we write, it loses 2 electrons and we get 2H plus, and this is anode, here oxidation takes place, and here it corresponds the reduction. So the another half cell reaction will be reduction, and simply write 2 electron here first, then write here O2, and we get OH minus. So here 2 equivalent of oxygens are there, so we add 2, then 2 hydrogens are there, so we add H2 over here. Now if we balance the equation, then we see that here are total 3 equivalent of oxygens are there, and here 2 equivalent of oxygens are there, so we add half here. So now there are 2 equivalent of oxygen, and here is also 2 equivalent of oxygen, and here 2 equivalent of hydrogen, here also 2 equivalent of hydrogen. So this is the cathode, and here reduction takes place. So we write the overall cell reaction, that is H2, and this cancels out, plus half O2 plus H2O, and we get, from that we get 2H plus 2H minus. This is the overall cell reaction. So we try to solve the next. So in 2 we can see that this is anode, and if we write the half cell reaction of the anode, VTH2 minus 2 electron, and we get 2H plus, this is anode, and here oxidation takes place. In cathode, firstly write this 2 electron because reduction takes place here, then you write H2 over here. This is a trick, by this you can easily understand. H2 consists of H plus plus OH minus. If 2 electrons provided to this system, then we add 2 here, so 2H plus plus 2OH minus. Then if 2 electrons provided in this system, these 2 H plus takes 2 protons and forms into H2, so we get H2 plus 2OH minus. So this is a trick, by this you can easily understand. So if we write the overall reaction, PTH2, these 2 electron cancels out, plus 2H2O, and we get 2H plus H2 plus 2OH minus. This is the overall cell reaction. So by this I am stopping here. If you have any doubt, please let me know in the comment section. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.